What's up, guys? Cody here. Today with a fantastic Lucian game. Oof. So, I'm playing Lucian mid this game, and quite recently I have been playing nothing but Lucian, ADC and mid. And I forgot how fun Lucian was and how good I was at him. Pretty much, I think, yeah, it was at the start of season 6. Whenever they did the ADC reworks, and Lucian was like really OP. I played nothing but him and had a huge win rate with him and had a huge KDA on him. Yeah, that was pretty fun. But I haven't played him much since. And I started playing him a few days ago. I think just because I saw Faker playing him mid, and I was like, you know what? I'm in the mood for Lucian now. And I figured that my Lucian was good enough where I could play it mid lane. And yeah, this was one of my good games with him. So the reason why Lucian mid even works is just because the Blade of the Ruined King Black Cleaver build just makes him have so much sustain and so much damage so early on that he's just impossible to deal with. If he runs out of mana, then then you can deal with him very easily. But when it's Lucian mid, then there's not much to worry about with that because you'll be getting blue buffs. So Karthus here is being a nuisance at the start of the game, and I'm going to lose a good percentage of my health. However, he's spamming his Qs away, and he's going to completely run out of mana here and make it so that it's really easy for me to take up some easy kills on him. If he wanted to, he could pretty easily push in the wave against me and cause me to have a lot of problems. So, dodge a Karthus Q and get simple trade in. One of the nice things you can do on Lucian is you can cancel your second auto attack off of your passive by moving or inputting another spell or something like that. So that's really nice. The damage still goes off, the attack still goes, but you cancel the animation. So pretty much the main part of this laning phase for me is just making him pay for his mistakes. I didn't need to flash there, but I wanted to make sure, just in case Ignite didn't kill, but should have trusted the Ignite would have done the job. And then at this point, I was like, I want it back, but I was like, oh, I don't have enough to get my Vampiric Scepter to get my lifesteals to make this lane a little bit easier on myself, so that way it wouldn't be so bad if I take a Karthus Q. So I pushed this in anyways, which is something that I should be doing regardless. And yeah. So this is going to get me a Vampiric Scepter. And I'm going to have that to Karthus's Mana Crystal. I also got to pick up myself a Control Ward and another Health Pot. So Control Wards are going to be mighty helpful this game, as Sejuani is going to kind of camp me. And at parts when I don't have a Control Ward, I start to get really scared, as I'm afraid of a gank. So Karthus and Sejuani go top. I ping for me under the Sin's bush, and Karthus doesn't show up. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'll go back to pushing. I figured Karthus backed potentially, and he actually did. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to push this out a bit. Until Karthus gets back here, and he rises back. I now have a level advantage, so I'm going to make sure I abuse that. I'm playing towards the top side because I have a ward in the river and a control ward. There's one who shows up. I kind of wasted mana throwing out that W. Had I put the control ward closer to my side, I could have harassed her a bit. But yeah, that was mad bad on that placement. But Karthus shows up here, and I just throw out everything against him. I should have canceled my ult after he was too far away from me, since there was no way I was going to be able to get the rest of it on him. because of the fact that he exhausted me and I was slowed. So I should have stopped ulting and thrown out my double shot, which wouldn't have killed him either way, but it still would have added some extra damage. So Karth is back. He's building a Morellonomicon first item for some goddamn reason. I don't really know why. But his downfall. I know he doesn't have exhaust. I know he doesn't have flash. I don't have ult, so I gotta, you know, be careful about what I'm doing. And Karthus's ult, he's not going to use that unless he's already dead, or we go for a trade and I back off and he knows that he can kill me. So I gotta, you know, pretty much watch out for that and only that. Karthus hits me with 3 Qs in a row when I could have E'd out of it, but because I chose not to E out of his initial Qs, I got to do that to him and kill him. So I also have Bilgewater Cutlass at this point, which added on a nice extra 100 damage. And yeah, easy kill. So this is what's great about Lucian. He punishes mistakes very heavily, and he can be very lane dominant. And it's something that's slowly coming back into the meta more and more. I think Bjergsen was playing it in one of his games for playoffs. And yeah, it's really strong. It's a very snowball-y type of lane. Even down in bot lane, it's not as good in bot lane because right now there's a lot of shields and heal champions that kind of make it really impossible to kill anyone. So down in bot lane, just attack speed ADCs are generally better. So Shizwani showed up and made me burn my flash as I had E'd because I wanted to go in. And like I said before, when I don't have any control wards, then I do run that risk of being ganked. So I have to be careful with when I dash in. So Karthus lets me pretty much kill him. And I'm out of mana at this point, but we are going to be able to get tower. And I believe this is first tower gold, which is really helpful. So at this point, Thresh is telling me, like, hey, go bot, go bot, go bot. And I'm saying, I got no mana. Going bot would be a waste of my time because I have no mana whatsoever. So a fight breaks out down in bot with everyone but me and Thresh. And this doesn't really go in our favor. We killed Tristana and Sejuani, and Fiddles was already dead before this ever happened. But, well, I guess this goes in our favor, but we burn a lot of summoners for it, and Karthus almost gets a kill on Rumble, but Karthus is so far behind, and he has a Morellonomicon instead of a Rod of Ages, so he's got that disadvantage, and because he doesn't have a Rod of Ages, he's gonna be super squishy. That's what I'm looking for. Can't think of words. I kind of waste my ult there. I was trying to kill Fiddles, and then I dashed in thinking he was going to try to ward, and yeah, I kind of wasted everything. So Karthus, I didn't really know where Karthus was at this point. I figured that he was trying to roam bot or catch me coming back up, and that's not at all what he was doing. He was just playing really far back because at this point I do have a Blade of the Ruin King and building towards my Black Cleaver. So I know I can pretty much take him, especially because he only has Morellonomicon. It is hurting my healing, but it doesn't really matter. Morellonomicon is not really a good item on Karthus because the cooldown reduction on Karthus is pretty much wasted because his Q doesn't require any cooldown reduction, just be on constant spam. So I go and take their blue buff to make sure I keep my blue going, and then we secure the Rift Herald at this point. Down in bot lane, they're in a pretty tough situation. However, they do manage to get a kill through Thresh Ignite, and I pick up, or my team picks up the Rift Herald. So at this point, we have Rift Herald, which means that we pretty much have a destroyed tower. I jump in on Karthus, and yeah, with Ignite, it's an easy kill. Karthus ultimate, and I'm running. Rumble's like, hey, there's something coming, and if I didn't get that notice, would have made things difficult as my dash. Well, I used my dash to kind of get out of there faster, but potentially he could have killed. Potentially. However, I probably could have sustained after he used everything and killed him if he didn't have ult. So I'm waiting for Phage at this point because I don't want to leave base without it, and it would be a shame to not have that extra move speed. The goal right now is to continue to keep Karthus down and to try and go into other lanes with my lead. Going into other lanes with Lucian is problematic. Like, you can't really gank or roam with Lucian. It's more like just sit mid and continuously harass your opponent. So I try to flash to get Karthus. Karthus flash to get it away from me, and yeah, we try to kill Sejuani here, but Tristana is gonna heal her up, and I almost get her, but vision loss OP, and they do end up killing me with a Tristana flash, and that is a shutdown of that's 4 kills. So like what, 300 something. Fiddle's ult's down here. He ends up flashing afterwards, and I think he dies here. But the enemy team is showing up, so they do have to be careful of that. Orin completely screws up his ult, but it doesn't really make a difference at the end. Tristana is just getting reset after reset, and we have an Ezreal, and Ezreal, in my opinion, just isn't that good of a champion, just because he doesn't make good use of any of the items that are popular. He doesn't make use of crit. He doesn't make use of attack speed. He doesn't make use of the healing support Ardent Sensor meta. There's that, and he is 1-5. He hasn't really been getting kills. So back to being able to 1v1 Karthus very easily. He's just a super easy kill. I don't have flash, I don't have ignite, and I killed him. Although I knew he didn't have flash, I knew he didn't have exhaust, so. And the Karthus is dumb, and he's now building tier. If you're gonna get tier, guys, build it as your first item, so that way you can start stacking. So at this point, there's no one mid. I don't feel like going bot, I don't feel like pushing out mid, and I see Orin is pretty low, and Rumble probably could have gotten him all by himself because Rumble had ult. But I came up for the assist anyways. Sejuani is half health in her jungle, so I'm trying to watch that. Kind of scare her off from being able to help Karthus. Mundo ends up killing Karthus because Karthus is so far behind, and Mundo has a Spirit Visage, so Karthus does literally nothing to him. At this point, we're going to get tower, and yeah, we are just further securing our lead. Another thing about Lucian is that Lucian can push towers very easily, as he can just continue proccing his passive to get tower, to get extra autos off the tower. Tristana ults me away and barely kills me with red buff. I was pretty pissed at that. Yeah, we do end up getting, we do end up winning this fight, so that's pretty good. Orin, he's ulting. The problem with Orin there, that his ult is useless. If he ults back in with that, it doesn't mean anything, because on the recast he has to go back in, and because he went back in, he had to burn his flash to get out. Had he just used his ult and flashed out and then eat out further back into his base, then it would have probably saved him. And then he decided to fight Mundo afterwards, and you're not gonna be able to 1v1 a Mundo, buddy. Even under tower, like, you only had like 15% health or something. His Orange W is not that strong in terms of being able to save his ass. Okay. So, I have Black Cleaver now, and Black Cleaver means I'm going to completely shred anyone that tries to fight me. I can pretty much 1v1 anyone, even the Tristana, who is kind of fit. She's got a Infinity Edge. I think she had Warlord, so she kind of has lifesteal. I'm waiting here because I wanted to know what was going on with the enemy. They're setting up for Baron, or at least they're making sure that we're not going to be able to take it. And we're pretty much just going to take a fight at this point. Thresh gets a nice hook here, and this is going to secure that for us. Tristana and Karthus want to fight, but they know that they can't, especially with Rumble showing up. Thresh hooks him mid-plant, and that secures the kill for us there. Karthus is dead, so he's ulting just to try to do something. Ornn is here, but it don't matter. He's getting CC'd up, meaning he can't recast his ult. And yeah, Tristana's the only one that gets away in that fight, and we're like, okay, let's take Baron at this point. And the enemy says, yeah, we're done with this, and we are going to surrender. So yeah, Lucian mid, really fun, especially if you got the Lucian mechanics of just being able to reset, well, not reset, but cancel the second auto attack animation. Then you can do pretty well on him. And as long as you kind of just know, like, your passive makes your E go on shorter cooldown, and you know how to play Lucian very well, you can very easily take him to mid lane and be successful. I think the only weakness that he would potentially have in mid is heavy burst champions that want to engage on you. Echo would be one of the people that come to my mind. But if you go up against someone that's just being a real nuisance against you, just pick up a Hex Drinker. Potentially, also the only chance that could be a problem would be Dead and Talon. Maybe don't play Lucian into those, as assassins generally stomp ADCs. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you did. And yeah, see you on the next one. I should have an Ornn video and maybe a Zyra guide on.